Sup friends? So today I'm gonna make some keto-friendly pork belly burnt ends on my Weber Smoky Mountain 14-inch. So let's get to it. So as you can see, I have this massive pork belly that I got from Costco. And as is, there is no way that this whole thing would fit on my Weber Smoky Mountain Tiny. So I'm actually gonna cut this up and use part of it for this cook and the other part for another cook. Oh gosh. Step one, make sure there's no dirt on the cutting board. Spiced with the earth. So these are the pieces that I'm gonna use for the burnt ends, and I'm actually saving this big hunk to smoke on my offset smoker. So if you wanna see that, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. So with these two pieces, I'm gonna be able to make about 10 burnt ends to the size that I want. So I'm gonna make them actually pretty thick. And I'm doing that because the thicker they are, the further I'm gonna be able to cook these and develop the bark without drying it out and burning them. But at the same time, these have so much fat in them that I'm not too worried about burning them. So go ahead and just cut them to whatever size you like. But remember that these will shrink as we cook them. Okay, so these are ready for binder and rub. So for binder, I'm gonna use just what I have. So I'm gonna use soy sauce because that was the first thing that I picked out of my fridge. Oh wow, came out really quick. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So use whatever binder you like, but again, if you wanna keep these keto friendly, make sure that there's not sugar in the binder that you're using. So use mustard, use vinegar, whatever you like. So now it's time for our rub, and I'm actually gonna make a homemade rub, and I'm gonna show you exactly what's in it. So to a bowl, I just added in 1 part swerve brown sugar, 1 part Lowry's, and half a part of garlic salt. I really gotta break up that brown sugar because it's super clumpy. All right. So we're gonna go over our pork belly pieces with pepper and then with the rub we just made until they're all coated. Okay, and these are ready for the pit. So I'm gonna be cooking these with some Kingsford Blue charcoal and some cherry wood chunks. I always set my pit up like this. I learned it from Harry Sue. I just put the wood chunks at the bottom and then put the coals over it. Also, another note, I have my water pan wrapped in foil today, so I am not gonna be using the water pan. And the foil just helps to make it easier to clean up once I'm done. Just wrap it up, throw it in the trash, good to go. So in the past when I've cooked in this 14-inch, I always have a heaping pile of coal, but this time I'm doing it level to the charcoal ring. In the past, I have had so much leftover coal, so I'm gonna see if this will last for the entire cook because I don't think the cook should take more than like 3 or 4 hours. And I got all 4 vents wide open, so we're just gonna wait until this gets up to about 275 and then the meat will be ready to go on. Okay, the pit is up to temp, so today I'm not using my probe thermometer. I'm solely going off of the Weber temperature gauge. And I know this cooker, so I know that even though it says 250 right now, it's really rolling at great level at about 275, 280, so I know it's ready to go. So the hot spot on the cooker is the outer ring. So I try to put the thicker pieces on the outside so that they can all cook evenly. And now we just close it up and these should be cooking for a few hours. Again, just to get some color on it and also to get the temp up. I'm basically gonna cook these to finish. So I don't think I'm gonna need to spray it. That's just my guess because these are so fatty and they're so small. I think they're gonna get up to temp pretty quickly. So I will see you guys when we're ready for the next step. Okay, so it's been a little bit over 3 hours and the burnt ends are pretty much done. So they're temping at about 205 to 210. So I went ahead and pulled them and put them in this foil tray. So the next step is that we want to get these nice sauced up and glazed. So to do that, what you need is brown sugar and some barbecue sauce. Now, in terms of barbecue sauce, make sure that you use a thin one. Again, this is a glaze, so you want to have your sauce like kind of thin. So if you don't have a thin sauce, you can just cut it down with some apple cider vinegar. But for today, I am going to be using the big boys. So this is ribby and Jerky. So I actually made both of these sauces last week, so if you missed that video, I'll have it linked at the end of this one. So I'm combining sauces. You can just use one, you can use three, it doesn't matter here. So when I had these on the grill, I had them fat side down, but now in the pan, I have them meat side down, because the thought is that I'm gonna melt down all of this sauce and brown sugar and let that get melted down. It's gonna fall to the bottom of the pan. It's gonna like braise that meat at the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to cover this for the initial part, just to melt down the sugar. So I'm gonna throw this back on the pit, let the sugar melt for about 10 minutes, unwrap it, and then let the glaze set for another 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to try it. Okay, so these burnt ends are ready to eat. Now, this cook was so easy. I mean, it only took like 3 or 4 hours, and on top of that, you know, with the Weber Smoky Mountain, the vents are just like set it and forget it. So yeah, super easy, and the smell of these burnt ends is driving me insane. I haven't eaten anything today, so I am so excited to dig into this. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Before I do try, let me show you exactly what we're working with here. Look at the bark on these things. Jeez Louise. All right, cheers. Oh my gosh, so fatty, so juicy, so delicious. So give these a try and let me know what you think. And again, if you want to know how I made the keto-friendly sauce that I put on these, then check the video on your screen right now.